The ROCKTOL Gen R is finally here. Overall, there's some really good things I'm excited to tell you about. There's some not so good things I'll tell you about. Let's go ahead, jump into this tool. Pretty exciting. One of the first things we'll look at is the plier head. You'll notice that it meets together very nicely at the end. Then when we look at the plier head, we notice that it is triangular shaped, which Leatherman has said in the past that is its strongest design. I would assume it makes this design stronger as well. It does seem to be very nicely machined. I did notice a little bit of oil coating, which happens a lot of times, but really not much of a gritty feel. It feels fairly smooth on my particular version. Also, there's a crimper at the bottom. The replaceable wire cutters on these, you'll notice there's a notch on one side, a flat part on the other. That's denoting the hard wire notch at the bottom. Pretty nice. Then also on the side, you'll notice the flat part right here, which possibly could be used as a reamer. Some people mention that. I feel like this plier head is machined pretty well. Now, when we look at the handle, we notice some pretty cool things. Again, the Gen R designation right here, the ROCKTOL. I think this is the nicest ROCKTOL I have seen. I know in the past they have tried to offer this titanium coating, which is the same with this as well. This is not true titanium. It's titanium coating, whatever that means. Then also there is this pocket clip, which works pretty well. I've been carrying this tool. Then the design of the handle material. So in the past, again, it does seem like some of these companies have tried to copy Leatherman a little bit too hard. But with this one, even though it does seem to be going after sort of that arc, wave, charge mix, it seems like they've thrown all those tools into a blender and come out with this. We notice that this is not the same as the arc. So the arc has the rounded sort of extra dimension. This is squared off. It is a little bit different design, and I actually like it. It looks pretty sharp. We have the pocket clip on the other side. It's nice and smooth, again with that Gen R designation. Now these are just well, I don't think they're even etched on. They're more just painted on. They may disappear over time, but it is pretty cool. Gives it a little bit more of that upscale look. Also, as we talk about the handles, you can notice there are ruler markings on these. Also, that you can potentially change this pocket clip to either side of the tool as well. Let's go ahead, flip this around. One of the tools we have on this side, the only tool actually, is the double-sided bit driver. These come with the ball detent bits right here. Then they fit back in like so. Pretty cool. Then on the other side, we have what has become more of a familiar tool set. We have the can opener wire stripper. Now on this one right here, it does look like it's got some etching from machining on that one right there. Then we do have this wide flat screwdriver. We've got the double-sided micro driver as well, flat and Phillips. We do have the awl with the thread right there. Now I noticed mine seemed fairly blunt edge. I'll have to check in my other ones to see if they're that way as well. Then we do have the file. This is the diamond file, very small again in the normal file. Those are your inside tools. Also, I wanted to mention that this comes in at $54.99 on Amazon. There's only 20 of these left. Also, this does weigh in at 276 grams or 9.8 ounces. So it's pretty much the same size as the Byberry and some like the SQT as well in weight. Now also, when I open and close these pliers, they do seem a lot smoother. Also, one of the other things I noticed is they line up a lot better than, for instance, my SQT. I think my Byberry had the same issue where they did not line up as well at the end. These, I notice, actually do a lot better job at that. I don't know why. I don't know if I just got an extra good one. I'm not sure the reason, but I just want to let you know that they do seem to be doing a better job with this particular one. Again, the action seems to be a lot smoother when you close the pliers, even smoother than new Leathermans. I know some of you have said, oh, these new Byberry Surge clones are really tough to close, but you know, new Leathermans are the same. That's just one of the things you have to deal with. Let's go ahead, jump to the outside tools. I want to save the knife for last because we'll talk a little bit more about this. What we'll do right now is we'll talk about the scissors. I do feel like I probably should do some cutting with the scissors. Let's go ahead, try these scissors out on a variety of materials. Here we have some paracord, slices right through these scissors. Here's some seat belt, goes right through the seat belt. Let's do some zip ties. Right here, a zip tie. Let's go ahead, cut through this inner tube. Again, this is double layer inner tube right there. Then I just have this Harbor Freight strap, cut through this as well. Yeah, it cuts through everything very, very nicely, actually. Now on the other side from the scissors, we do have the serrated blade. We also have that really nice cutting hook on there. I really like this for opening packages and a variety of tasks. I did want to mention that on mine, it was a little different because I noticed there was this metal scale on mine. What happened is I just barely touched it and it basically fell off. So apparently during the machining process, somehow they didn't clean up the top of this blade completely. So that is something you might want to watch out for. Now on the opposite side of the knife, we do have the saw. Very aggressive teeth on this wood saw. It does lock into place. Now, I guess the big news about this tool is VG10. Now, VG10 can cut better. It can sharpen quicker than 420HC that Leatherman uses. So I think ROCKTOL, the parent company that makes all these for all these brands, probably thinks this is definitely a big leap forward, which it definitely is, you know, better than some of the knife stills that they have been offering. Now, this isn't near as big a deal as it was probably 6 years ago or so when there were sort of knife battles between Buck and Spyderco and their knife blades. There's so many more blades that have jumped on the market. I do think this is a very significant leap forward for some of these budget multi-tools. It shows that they are willing to add better steel to their tools, and I think that's a big deal. So even if you don't like this particular steel, just the idea that it's an option and that perhaps we will get even better ones in the days ahead, I think is pretty exciting. We do have, it looks like a little bit of a different blade shape perhaps that is on this one right here. So for instance, this is the more traditional blade shape. This is on my Byberry 20-in-1, but this is the blade shape that they have gone to right here. I definitely think this is very good news for those interested in the budget multi-tool world. I've read your reviews and a lot of you have said, hey, the Leatherman Arc is way too expensive for me. I can't afford it. This right here is a good compromise for some of you, especially entering the multi-tool market, the realm. I think it's definitely good news. Now, what you get with this kit is not only the multi-tool, you do get 3 extra bits that add some capability to them. You do get some Torx bits, also the Phillips, the flat bits as well as the pouch. This is very reminiscent of the Leatherman pouches. This one is a little different, probably not quite as good, but you do have an option where you can stick your bit in the back, which I think is better than out front, which actually snagged a lot of times on mine. One of the things that you also see when you pay $150 less for a tool is that it doesn't offer the same amount of warranty. So we see a 5-year warranty right here. That is what ROCKTOL is offering. So overall, I am very happy with this tool. Now, as far as negatives, I did say in the beginning there were some. That extra steel that I found on my serrated blade on that cutter, that's some of the negatives. Everything won't be perfect. Now, things like this where these are just almost like painted on instead of etched on, obviously you see that's more budget. I have had some oil stains around here, which is probably just from the shop working itself loose and so forth, or not working itself loose. It's just a lubricant that didn't get cleaned off. There's little things like that, but overall, I am very impressed with this tool, very happy with this tool. I do think this is another step forward in the budget multi-tool world. I think it's a good thing.